Let's put the focus on UFO Moviez. They posted a weak third quarter this time. Profits fell over 18%. To really understand the reasons behind this and get a fine print into the quarter gone by, we're now joined by the management of the company, Kapil Agarwal, Joint Managing Director at UFO Moviez, joining in. Mr. Agarwal, thanks so much for joining us. Very good to have you on the show. You know, first off, it has been a weak quarter for you, especially if you look at the numbers year on year. Revenue too fell 7.3%. Profit after tax saw a downtick of about 16%. Take us through the factors that really played into this time.
I think our revenue is made up of three income sources. One is the advertising revenue, the exhibitor revenue, and the distributor revenue. So far as the distributor revenue is concerned, because of the sunset which we have already declared in the market, so this quarter there was an impact of 8 crores. So that is something which has brought down the distributor revenue. The good thing is that the impact of GST and demonetization seems to be waning off on the advertising revenue. So we grew almost 16% on the advertising revenue. So main reason of drop in the revenue was, as I said, the distributor and some part of the reduction in the sales of the equipment and consequent commission on the sales. So that was the exhibitor revenue, but the advertising revenue has grown healthily.
All right, so let's talk about the ad revenue then. Like you said, it's grown 16% this time around. Do you expect to see this kind of a trend to continue? Are you seeing, is this because of a revival that's come about post demonetization and GST?
Yeah, as I said, that the impact of GST and demonetization seems to be waning off, and now we are seeing that advertising revenues are picking up, although not at the same pace as we would have expected. We are seeing the Q4, for example, is slightly better than even Q3. So it seems to be improving, and I hope that in the next few quarters this impact is completely gone, because people are coming back to spend, the consumers are coming back to spend, the companies are coming back to spend on the advertising.
All right, so then if you talk about the small areas of pressure, you saw VPF income, sale of products and other operating income all come in weak this time. When do we really expect to see a revival coming in these spaces?
As I said, the distributor income is basically, you know, the overall impact because of the sunset clause in the Hollywood studio VPF. So that impact we had already declared 2 years back, that how it is going to wane off. So this quarter there was an impact of 8 crores. But now most of the impact is gone, some impact is left over next 1 year. So after that it will stabilize. So far as the exhibitor revenue is concerned, it is made up of three components. One component is a permanent component, which is the rental income on the equipment. That income is absolutely intact, and which is the regular income. The second income, which is a temporary business, is sale of equipment. Now, sale of equipment keeps going up and down, and it is largely driven by the Middle East business. So quarter on quarter it keeps changing. I think overall in a year it stabilizes. And the third income is some commissions we earn on sale of equipment and other products. That again is a very temporary business. This is not our sustainable business. So real sustainable business, there is no challenge in the real sustainable business, which is the rental income on the equipment. Both other two businesses are actually, which both get clubbed in the exhibitor revenue for the sake of brevity, but that is actually temporary revenue. So there is no, we don't see any challenge to the regular sustainable business, which is advertising revenue, rental in the exhibitor revenue, and the rest of VPF income outside of the Hollywood VPF.
Right, fair enough. And you said there's a little bit of an impact that remains for the next quarter. How much, if you could just quantify for us, how much of a hit it still remains to be taken?
I think every quarter we will see some amount. I think the overall over next 2 years there will be an additional impact of approximately 15 to 20 crores, out of which like 8 crores was in this quarter alone. This was one of the heavy quarters. So it is divided over next few quarters. So some impact, a few crores every quarter we'll see till it completely wanes off.
All right, fair enough. Then Mr. Agarwal, also give us a sense of how government spends on advertising looked this quarter, and how are you expecting it to really pan out going ahead?
The government advertising in this quarter was a little bit challenging. Still, we grew by 16% even in the government sector. So overall growth was 16%. Corporate grew by 16%. Government grew by 16%. In fact, it was equally divided this time. Q4 we are seeing better advertising revenue from the government. So government ad spend is improving.
All right, expected to come in even higher than this quarter as far as government spends on advertising goes. You know, Mr. Agarwal, your post-earnings release says you are now poised to generate higher revenues with lower incremental capex. Just give us a sense of what the strategy is here in terms of capex going ahead.
Well, the strategy, as you haven't talked about, we haven't spoken about Caravan Cinema. Actually, Caravan Cinema is one of our ambitious projects, and we have been concentrating to offset the impact of VPF sunset. We have undertaken this project, and although it was a little start and it was very badly hit in last year and last few quarters because of demonetization, because this is all rural spend at the end of the day. But we have been concentrating on it, and now we have been concentrating on upping the revenue per van from this. And I'm very happy to say that, you know, in this quarter, as compared to the last quarter, we have been more than able to double the revenue per van. So we are now concentrating on getting a healthy revenue per van, then trying to sell the vans, so that when all the vans sell, then revenue is much healthier. So we have been able to more than double it this quarter.
All right.
That's the happy note, and that's one of the strategies to push it. Secondly, in this year, we are...
No, go ahead, sir. What's the plan for this year?
No, I was saying that this year we are also seeing a very good lineup of movies, from a Shah Rukh Khan movie to Amir Khan to Salman Khan movies, Akshay Kumar. I mean, there is a very good lineup of Ranveer Singh. There are very good lineup of movies in this calendar year. So we hope that, you know, because of a good lineup of movies, which is much better than last year, it is certainly, in our view, going to help in you know, better BPF revenue, as well as it is going to aid in garnering higher advertising revenues.
All right, fair enough,
So
Mr. Agarwal.
will be on advertising and on Caravan Cinema this year.
All right, just a last question before we let you go. In terms of screen additions, you saw an uptick about 5.5%, now at 3,943. Any expansions planned on this front? How many additions are you looking at for the fourth quarter and for FY19?
The screens, the number of screens is almost stable. There are some screens which shut down every year, the very, very low grade screens. Some screens are, new screens are coming up. So overall, there is a 2 to 3% growth in the number of screens. That is what we are seeing in the industry. And so it's the industry growth. We have, of course, undertaken the Nova Cinema project, where we are trying to have to have a better rollout of screens in the country, because our country needs, you know, we have only 9,500 screens in the country, and the country of our size needs another 50 to 20,000 screens. So I think we need to spur the growth of screen growth, for which we have undertaken our project, which is already, you know, started taking shape, and next few years I think that is going to contribute to the overall growth in the screens in the country as such.